Attention, attention, members of the jury. I accuse Friar Lawrence for the death of the two star-crossed lovers, Romeo and Juliet. Friar Lawrence is not only at fault because he married the two, but was the mastermind of Juliet's fake death, gave her the hemlock remedy, and left a distraught and unstable Juliet in the Capulet's tomb. All these events were simply the building blocks to the tragic death of the two. My first accusation is that Friar Lawrence was the one who flat out married them. Here in Act 2, Scene 3 is a great example. Quote, "Thy love did read by rote, that could not spell, by come, young waverer, go with me. In one respect I'll thy assistance be, for this alliance may so happy prove to turn your household's rancor to pure love." End quote. Simply stated in this quote, Friar Lawrence believes that proceeding with the marriage, the Montagues and Capulets will end their feud. Little does he think of the following consequences that this marriage has, or the fact that the two people are barely adults and don't know what true love really is. Friar Lawrence also doubts himself as well, but pushes that thought aside, as you can see in Act 2, Scene 3. Quote, "For these violent delights have violent ends." End quote. Here, Friar does give a warning to the two, but truly brushes it aside himself, making it a small part of the matter. My second accusation is that Friar Lawrence not only was the mastermind behind Juliet's fake death, he gave her the tools to carry out the plan. Here in Act 3, Scene 2 is an example. Quote, "Thou hast the strength of will to slay thyself. Then it is likely thou wilt undertake a thing like death to chide away this shame. That copest with death himself to escape from it, and if thou darest, I'll give thee remedy." End quote. In this quote, Friar Lawrence is formulating the plan and is asking Juliet if she is able to kill herself for the time being. Note, kill herself. So, Friar goes on to prepare the hemlock remedy. In Act 4, Scene 1, line 105, quote, "Thou shalt continue 42 hours, and then awake from this pleasant sleep. Now, when the bridegroom in the morning comes to rouse thee from thy bed, there art thou dead." End quote. Friar is telling and formulating the plan right before our very eyes because of the fact that he actually physically makes the remedy that put Juliet to her death is another reason that Friar is to blame. And finally, my third accusation against Friar Lawrence is that he left an emotionally distraught and unstable Juliet in the tomb with a dead Romeo only because he is a coward of the law. Juliet was left in that tomb with many devices and means to kill herself. If Friar had only taken a second thought as to the result of his actions, things may have turned out differently. But, well, sadly they didn't. In Acts 5, Scene 3, line 151, Friar states, quote, "I hear some noise, lady. Keep from the lady comes from the nest of death, contagion, and unnatural sleep. A greater power that we can contradict hath thwarted our intents. Come away. I dare stay no longer." End quote. This quote and action is truly a game changer. If only Friar Lawrence had stayed longer to save Juliet. But he didn't. This, my jury, is the reason why Friar Lawrence is truly to blame for the tragic death of Romeo and Juliet. To recap, not only did he marry the two, but he formulated the plan of Juliet's fake death and gave her the tools to do so as well. And finally, he left an unstable Juliet in a dangerous situation. This, my powerful jury, is why Friar Lawrence is to blame.